So I'll tell you a real story. So we had a director level, so a relatively high person in the organization who was having behavior issues. Uh, said differently, everyone thinks you're a dick, and so he ended up making his rounds of the executive team and having a sit down with all of them because he was really proficient at the skill. He was a high performer, like good at what he does. Just no one liked him. And so he talked to four different executives, and the behavior didn't change. And so he finally came to my office, and he was like a little bit worried, and he was like, "Am I going to get fired?" And I was like, "No, HR will fire you if you're going to get fired. You're not going to meet with me. Like, what are we talking about?" But when we sat down, I said, "Okay, I want to be clear. I want to decrease the likelihood that people call you a dick in the future." I said, "Does that sound like an agreeable goal?" And he said, "Yeah, I don't. I want that." I was like, "Okay, good. I also don't care if you are a dick. I just care that everyone else thinks you are." And so I just want to minimize the likelihood that I get drawn into this ever again. So the reasons that they are calling you a dick, we need to dive into that because every other conversation you'd had with, some of the leaders was just like, "Hey man, stop being a dick." And the thing is what do you do with that? Nothing. You just get insulted and then you have nothing to do. And so instead it's like, okay, when you cut people off when they talk, stop, start, keep doing. Do this instead. Shut up. So when someone else is talking, wait until they finish. And if you're not sure, ask if they're done. He's like, okay. When you give unsolicited advice on how they should run their department, don't. Or ask if they want it. If they say no, don't say anything. And so we identified three or four behaviors that he was doing. And I said, just do this instead. And literally the next week, we were like, what happened to him? He's like a new man. And the thing is that he wasn't a dick. He just didn't know how to behave. And so if you want to teach, teaching has to come from conditions and a behavior. And so if you're trying to get someone to be different, you have to give them the conditions under which they need to change. So when someone says this, if this occurs, there's a condition, and then this is what you need to do.